Hydrohalide addition to alkenes is an important stepping stone in the beginning of organic chemistry, and it's where you add a HBr in this case, or sometimes you'll see it as HX, where the X is any halide, across a double bond. And we're going to talk about that, and it's one of the early reactions you learn in organic chemistry. And it's an important stepping stone into learning synthetic reactions that you can take to larger synthesis. So when we add this across a double bond, what we end up with is this here. I'm not going to go through the mechanisms right now. When we have our HBr, generally how you see it, and what we end up with is this, where Br is here, a bromine, and then we have, I'm just going to put an H here. We have our hydrogen there. I don't like that hydrogen. And this is what's called Markovnikov addition. So the bromine added at this most substituted position, which is secondary instead of primary. So it didn't add here, it added right here. And I'll make another video on the mechanism of that, and I'll show you why. But what if you wanted to go to the least substituted position, or the less substituted position, we'll say? Uh, there is a way to do that, and that's what's called anti-Markovnikov addition. So if we put this over here, and we have our, that's a crappy line. We have what was our alkene, and we want our bromine right. Oh, I can't draw today. Our bromine right here, and our hydrogen here. Well, how do we get that? We can do that. What we need, though, is you need to have a peroxide in there as well. So that's something where you have two oxygens and then alkyl groups on the other side. Generally, you'll see it abbreviated like this. And whenever I read that, I just think like ROOR, like a line. So whenever I was learning, I would read it as HBr-ROOR. But so, and this is what's known as anti-Markovnikov addition, where it's at the less substituted site. So this is Markovnikov, and this is anti-Markovnikov. And now these are important to know because as you get further in organic chemistry and in your class, if they're anything like mine, your exams are going to have synthetic problems on it, where it's going to give you a starting material and an ending molecule, and say, this is what you start with, this is what you need to end with, get there. And it's very important to know which one you need, because very different if you have a bromine here versus here. Those are both bromo propanes, but the bromine position will very much affect its functionality, especially like say you're making a drug. But so just remember, if you have an alkene and you add HBr or HCl across it, if there's nothing else in there, you're going to get what's called Markovnikov addition, where it's at the most substituted site. If you have a peroxide in there as well, it will add to the less substituted site, and that is called anti-Markovnikov addition. So just quick little rundown, and I will make another video on the mechanisms to why those happen. But as always, hope that was helpful. Send this to your friend that you're in organic chemistry with, or send this to your buddy at another university that's taking organic chemistry. Or if you're not taking organic chemistry, I don't know how this video found you, but send it to your friend that is. And you can always leave it in the comments, something you're struggling with. You can DM me if there's something you got wrong in your last exam. Send it over. I'll walk you through it so that way you can get an A on the next test.